It's gotta be Sarah C, and it's time for another makeup tutorial. This week's look is inspired by something a lot of us have been avoiding since the new year began: candy and sweets. If you like this look, please give it a thumbs up and keep on watching to learn how to recreate it. After I've blocked out my eyebrows, I apply my foundation with a beauty blender. I highlight my face with a white cream makeup because I want to mimic the white face of a traditional clown makeup without painting my face 100% white. Then I set my face with powder so none of the products move around. I use a small round cap to trace circles on the apples of my cheeks so my lollipops are symmetrical. Then I add in my outer mouth shape. I also add in my new crease and eye shape. And I add a small circle on the tip of my nose. I wanted my clown to have a traditional clown collar, so I used a reference picture and copied the curves and pleats. I'll link the picture I used down below. I fill in the collar with white body paint. And I fill in all the shapes on my face with white as well, but I don't fill in my lips. If I were to do this look again, I wouldn't fill in my cheeks because I ended up going over it with other colors and then adding the white in last. Then I fill in half my chest with red body paint. I fill in the other half of my chest with light pink body paint. I use white to add some gooey candy drips to the mouth. I connect all the drips with little upside down U's so they look a little bit more natural. Then I fill in my lips with red body paint. I add red drips as well. I sketch in the sections of my peppermint nose and fill in every other one with red body paint. I add my crease back in, map out the peppermint lines, and fill in every other one with light pink. And I add some thin black eyebrows to the edge of my eye shape. Then, I sketch in the swirls and sections on my lollipop cheeks. I start by filling in the red sections, and skip 2 sections between each red one for the other colors. The next sections are dark pink. I fill in the rest of the sections with light pink. And I use red to add the swirl of the lollipops back in. I add a thin line of white between each segment to make the colors really pop. I use a gradient of pink to red eyeshadow to define my new crease. I also use the pink to add a bit of shading to the upper eye area. Then I use the pink and red to add in the signature clown under eye points. I shade around the lollipops and peppermint to give them some dimension as well. Use contour powder to shade on one side of each drip so they come forward and look more three-dimensional. Now onto the collar, which is the most complicated part. I use light gray eyeshadow to add the curves along the edge in, and to add the folds of the fabric. Then I use a medium gray eyeshadow to add shading to the curved edges, since that's technically the underside of the collar and it would be in the shadows. Also use the medium gray to add the shadows between the folds of the fabric. use black eyeshadow to really push those shaded areas back. I shade along the edge of the collar with light and medium gray eyeshadow so it looks like it's on top of my skin. Then I shade along the neckline with contour powder. I add some lashes, then finish the look with lip gloss on the red part of the mouth. Thank you so much for watching my candy clown tutorial. All of the products used will be listed in the description below. If there's any looks you'd like to see me create, let me know in the comments. If you use any of my tutorials, be sure to tag me on social media. I'd love to see your recreations. To see more of my work, check me out on Instagram and Facebook, links in the description, and I will see you next time.